Whispers ASMR.
Yeah, you're gonna watch me shower. Don't make it weird. Feel free to send money. No. Hi. So, this is what I look like. A lot of times, it's difficult for me to do self-care. And this is not going to be a bumming out video. But I just wanted to kind of set this one up because, you know, a lot of times it can be difficult for me to do self-care. And then my beard kind of looks a little ratty, tangly, things like that. And between my physical ailments and lifelong severe depression, it can be very difficult to do normal everyday things that I used to be able to do. But the important thing about this video is that a couple of people asked around if someone or I would do a beard ASMR video. And so, yeah, I could do that. And that starts in the shower. I'm not happy about it either. It's the best I could come up with. We're gonna do this together. Don't make it weird. Step one, wet. You gotta get it nice, like all the way down onto the skin, kind of wet. Second, get yourself a friend. Third, preliminary wash. I do 2 washes. I do just kind of like the initial wash to get life out of my beard and my hair. So the initial oils, pollutants, all the things. It typically gets to be so bad that the first wash doesn't even like get a lot of suds to it. So it's sort of like a sacrificial wash just to get started. And I only use Dr. Bronner's for everything. I use it for my beard, my hair. I don't use conditioners. And when I come out, there's some good sounds. When I come out of the shower, I typically have very soft hair, shiny. It's very healthy, and I don't think a lot of us need the whole more, conditioner, vitamins, minerals, nutrients for your hair, things like that. I think it's kind of blown way out of proportion. You do it. I used to use them. Do what you feel like you have to do for your hair. I'm not going to tell you how to live. Do you? You do you, boo. But always make sure that you get underneath the beard. ounce container, and I buy a quart and I fill it up. I usually get 8 to 10 uses out of one of these. So, and I usually get, I don't know how many fill-ups out of the big one, but it lasts me for a long time. And I put essential oils in here. I do Young Living essential oils. I've never sold them actively. I just use them for the last 15 years. I like Soooooo. Vetiver is an excellent smell for like leathery, manly smells. Christmas Spirit, Light the Fire Christmas Spirit is like pine, like Idaho balsam fir, things like that. It smells like pine trees. In this right now I have Soooooo, which is kind of like it's like a lighter masculine smell. But if you want to go manly, like you would go with like Vetiver, which smells like liquid leather. It's beautiful. That's usually what I have in my beard oil. So, we're going to get some good beard sounds right now. A couple of things is, I like to make it nice and lathery. And you try not to breathe any of the suds in. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it through this. Different things is one of the biggest parts about owning a long beard is combing it and brushing it. I like to do this during the second wash because it's nice and it's lubricated from the soap, and you can get a lot of tangles and knots out easier. And you start at the bottom, and it's a wide mouth brush, and it's strong. It's not a crappy weak one, because this beard will eat right through a crappy comb. Start towards the bottom, work your way up. Start superficial, work your way deep. Just a few hairs there. It depends on the day, time of year, your own health. Depends on how many beard hairs you can lose with each shower. Some days I lose a lot, some days I hardly lose any. Either way, clean it out of the drain before you leave the shower. Don't make bearded guys look like animals. Alright, so now, when people, or if people, end up experiencing bad beard experiences, it's usually when the beard is not maintained well. Okay? And so what I'm doing now is I'm getting deep at the skin, at the follicles, to like lift up all of the oil kills the dead skin cells, the yeast just from the air that lands. And also a part of that is the beard oil that I use, which is essentially coconut oil and then an essential oil. The coconut oil will kill the yeast at the base of the hairs, and it'll keep the skin healthy. It'll keep the follicles healthy, and that's something you definitely want to do to keep a good beard for a long time. So, of course, you want to maintain all the hair that's going on. Head hair, beard hair. If you're going to do one, make sure you do the other. I usually get a haircut, but COVID-19, social distancing, right now, haircut, not worth it to me right now. Besides, I think that having longer hair, I think it's underrated. I think having longer hair can be fun. Depends on what you're willing to do with it. Okay. I'm just going to try and get some really, really good sounds before I rinse everything out. A clean mess, but I am a mess, so I'm going to continue my routine. And I'm going to need some privacy for this one. I should have probably had privacy for this whole time, but the things we're willing to do for ASMR, right? I'm going to take the rest of my shower, and I will meet you afterwards over there for the whole oiling and brushing thing. Stay tuned. Or something. Don't go anywhere. Or go somewhere, but come back. You know what? There's not even going to be time that it goes by, so just hang on for a second. So now that we look like a drowned rat, we're going to go dry off. So, just as like a good start, when I'm drying off, I just do a quick couple of passes through my hair. But for the beard, you don't want to rustle it up. You don't want to get in there, because that'll just give you more knots. Take it and you squeeze it. And that'll just squeeze the water from the core of the beard out to the towel. Is just doing ASMR work. Typically I just squeeze it out a couple times and I move on, but I personally like the sound of hair going through a towel, so here we go. kind of sounds we can get out of a towel. Okay, so wash everything, dry everything as well. Now, I just wanted to address, I know I've got some red splotches, and then I've got like this weird skin condition here. It's like discolored. I've had that since childhood. Red splotches and such, they're from a medication that I have to take. Because at 35 years old with Lyme disease because at 30 years old I got Lyme disease. 35 years old my body had stopped making its own testosterone. So I take testosterone for the last 4.5 years or so. And that causes skin abrasions, different types of acne, hair growth, all kinds of bullshit. I'm unhappy about it. Hold on. Okay. At least I'm wearing pants now. I promise. I feel a little more comfortable doing this. Medicine chest cabinet thing. Start with a good bristle brush. I use a Conair brush. They've always been good to me. So, then I just kind of do a preliminary kind of thing. I brush back. I make my part. Done. That's going to dry flat, and then I'll just run my hands through it, and it'll be fluffy. Beard, I pay way more attention to. Again, start from the bottom, work your way up, and it's a lot more dry. It's drier than it usually is because I did extra towel work with it. Usually it's still wet. It's got hair hanging off because I just brushed my beard. I don't want to hear any complaints. Next is the beard oil. Very, very important. This might be the most important thing. I am extremely low on this stuff. I make it myself. And it's, like I said, just coconut oil. And my chosen, I melt it down, I don't get it hot. And that's my chosen essential oil. But, shoot you on this stuff here. This smells really good. I like this stuff. And then, there are other things like balsam fir, smells like pine needles, of course. Like I said, vetiver, one of my very favorite oils. because of the leathery smell. This is probably the very last use of my Christmas edition beard oil, which smells heavily of cinnamon. It also gives a nice tingle at the base of my beard. What you might want to do is take off jewelry before you apply your oil, because it gets under your ring, and it's a problem. For me, you may not care. So, get yourself a good amount of this oil. I'm shaky. I've been too active for too long. I'm gonna have to hurry this up. I'm sorry. I am starting to fall out. Okay, always important to drop some on the floor, but not to slip on it. Make sure you get a little bit in your mustache. Start high and come low. Get to the front and underneath. Sandwich and pull out on both sides. And that way you're getting as much as you can. What you're trying to do is coat every single hair in oil, as well as get all the way to the base of the beard, because you're trying to kill all that stuff at the base of the hairs and at the skin. Okay. Alright. Get your little soul patch. And now you have excess oil on your hands. The best way to deal with that, just put it on you. You're gonna smell good. You're gonna feel a little bit better, maybe not. Get it all over your body. Never put coconut oil down the drain. Like, big stop on that. Because it likes to solidify at room temperature, and then things don't go through the pipes. Yes. So, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna catch up with this later. Bye. Thank you. Alright, so that is that. I mean, that's my beard routine. You can see, it's simple, it's easy, it's not fussy. You can do that every day, every other day, and it does just a really good job. I will say that if I ever go out in public, I try not to. A gathering, maybe somebody's having an outing at the lake or something, I'll just sit in a lawn chair while my wife goes out and has some fun. But I find that a lot of people tend to want to touch my beard, and I mean, in the sunlight it glistens because it's got the oil on it, and it kind of morphs between jet black and like a glowing red, depending upon how the light hits it. And I'm blonde, and then I'm black. Like there's a line here, so I think it attracts people, and I feel like the closer people are to me, the more they feel like it's okay to just like touch me, and I get hands coming in my face, and I don't like that. So a beard is just like, I guess this is like a PSA. A beard is just like a body part. Ask permission to touch it if it seems appropriate. It's very personal. A beard is personal, okay? And so please treat it as such. So there was a woman at one point that I did not know. I just checked my mail, and I have a P.O. box, and she just, her hand started coming at me, and she was like, oh, beard, she loves beards. Like, really loves beards. And I kept feeling like she was about to touch me, and I think she was, and then she would back off, but she was like salivating, and it was just like this weird thing, which, was uncomfortable. Did not feel great. Please don't just go touching beards, just like anybody should not just go touching anybody else, male, female, whatever it is. It's never okay. And it is weird to even say ask permission. Don't ask permission. Just don't do it. Actually, I don't. It's like, hey, do you mind if I, grab your butt? You wouldn't ask that because it's not appropriate. It's my beard. You can go ahead and look at it. Whatever you need to do, leave me out of it, please. And I am a person, before too many people get all up into now you know how it feels. I have always been a person who feels that way. You should not just go touching anybody just because you want to. You don't have the right to do that. I've always been on that kind of train. Personal boundaries, rights, fairness, equality, things like that. I think that that's important. So, beard ASMR. I hope that you've been able to enjoy this. Let's see here, for anybody curious. Let's see how long it is. So, I'm not gonna, this stuff up here, you've got from way up here, we're at about 17 inches from down here. Let's call it at my chin all the way down. 16 to 17 inches. I've been saying it's 14 inches. I've been shortchanging myself. So yeah, I've got a nice long beard. I grew it myself. Yeah, it's a personal thing. Why did I grow my beard? My wife thinks she's figured it all out, because for the first longest time that we were together, I did not have a beard. I remember when I was younger, maybe 20 years ago, I tried growing a beard 22 years ago. I was told not to. My job had implemented, I worked at a deli. They implemented that we could start to grow facial hair if we wanted to, so I opted to, and a couple weeks afterwards they said you are not allowed to have a beard, which I think is illegal. For those who think that just because you have some patchiness here and there that you cannot grow a beard, I want to tell you a couple of pointers maybe. First off, I do have some patchiness, but you can't see it because my beard is so thick. If you grow it out, it grows over the patchiness. That's a secret. Don't tell anybody else. Second is about 4 to 6 or 7 weeks of the growth period is going to itch like you cannot believe, because your beard hair gets long enough to turn back in on your skin, and then it just starts to itch, and it kind of drives you crazy. And I think that's where a lot of people get the idea that a long beard means itchy skin, and I will tell you that my beard hardly ever itches, ever. I go through weird phases where for a week I will have, for whatever reason, all of a sudden, ingrown hairs. And that happens maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And what I do is I just get like one of those toothpick things, you know, that you use to, it's like a little arm, and it's got a little piece of dental floss on it. The pick end of that, I just sort of like scrape against my skin, and it loosens up the hair that's ingrown. And it's fine, and it heals in a week, and I will go the next 3, 4, 5 months without a single issue. So that is another kind of myth, at least for me, about beards, where a lot of people think that long beards means itchy skin, and it doesn't. You have to fight through that number 1, itchy skin for a few weeks, and number 2, it's gonna look awkward when it's just like a short bush. It's gonna look weird. You're gonna look weird. It's just like growing out your hair. If you ever went from short hair to long hair, it's the same with a beard. You're gonna look like a dork. I think it's worth it though. Maybe I'll try and dig up some old pictures of me when I had a short beard. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. Nothing else is coming to mind right now. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll be happy to answer the best I can. And I think that's probably it. Now, as you saw, I have to go make some more beard oil. So that's what I'm going to go do. I love you all. Enjoy life. So, I'm just going to do some extra little things with my hair, with my beard hair, and we'll see what happens after that. Mostly, I want to say thank you for watching, listening. If you have anything negative to say about this video, don't bother. Keep to yourself. Positive. Knock yourself out. That's it. Thank you. I love you all. I do. And I don't know if I'm doing this right. And I will see you in the future. Have a good night. Good night. And enjoy life.